AEW booked a 90,000 seat stadium, and it's gonna be an all hands on deck show, even if those hands have been caught by the Young Bucks, and even if those hands have been in handcuffs every other year. AEW All In will be AEW's bold venture into the adult swimming pool. WWE's hot streak over the past year has firmly entrenched AEW in second place as key performance indicators soften. AEW is countered first with AEW All Access to hopefully expand their audience from Hot Pocket enthusiasts to more women and casual viewers. I like the energy, but I find the show to be the Spirit Airlines version of Total Divas. What about you? I stopped watching after week 1 when they refused to tell us anything about their biggest backstage story on a show called All Access. Sounds more like AEW General Admission to me. AEW's latest attempt to make its mark as an A company is to book the famous Wembley Stadium for All In, a concept stolen from Cody Rhodes because nobody looks to billionaires for creativity. That's like looking for black empowerment in Kentucky. If AEW is gonna sell out a giant stadium for Cody Mania, they're gonna need Cody Rhodes level performers. But that's where this kinda starts to get a little dark, because some of the biggest draws available for AEW right now are among the most toxic, like CM Punk. Do you really want to do a deal with the devil like that? We don't hate Cousin Phil on this channel, right guys? He's our cousin on this app, and even our most problematic cousins are like family, and sometimes family requires tough love. So don't take it personally when I say CM Punk has no place in the wrestling business in 2023. He's still a big star. Selfishly, I tune in to see him on TV, but that's because I'm addicted to pro wrestling. It's one of my toxic traits. And the most toxic trait of a pro wrestling promoter is that they can't help themselves when a guy is a draw. Whether it's Hulk Hogan or Jeff Hardy or CM Punk, if you are of value to the wrestling business, you will never run out of second chances. Shit, Vince McMahon's return is teaching us that. And even though CM Punk caused a locker room upheaval with just one deleted IG story, man, that's as temporary as social media gets. Like, he couldn't even wait the full 24 hours for it to expire. But with one social media post, CM Punk made himself radioactive. Now you want to invite that energy into your locker room just to fill up Wembley Stadium? Jeff Hardy sounds like he's on his way back and could be back in time for Wembley. We all make mistakes, but given Jeff Hardy's unignorable track record, is he really worth the risk? Will Ospreay is one of the best in the world, according to subredditors. The man is a massive talent, and much of that's because he's about willing to kill himself to put on great matches that are taxing on his body. AEW All In Wembley Stadium in his home country would be the biggest match of Will Ospreay's life, and that's a high bar. You don't think he's gonna put his body through hell trying to live up to that hype? The answer to all these questions should be no. But this is a carny pro wrestling business, so I expect both Hardy and Punk to return by All In, and I'll be praying that Will Ospreay stays in one piece for whatever internet wrestling classic he'll have in Wembley. While they're at it, since Tony Khan's gonna be booking everybody available, maybe he could book Vice TV so they can shoot footage for the 4th season of Dark Side of the Ring. And don't get it twisted, AEW is trying to sell out Wembley Stadium, period. Do they have to sell it out to be a success? No. Will they? Hell no. They can fill up half of Wembley Stadium and it'll still be the biggest AEW show of all time. But Tony Khan didn't book that massive venue to be a glass half full. This is not a 45,000 seat lesson in optimism. Stop it. Tickets don't go on sale for another month, yet a lot of AEW supermarks and affiliates are already making pre-excuses for not selling out Wembley. AEW tribalists just don't think it's fair to be judged by the size of a venue that AEW booked. Tough shit. If you book a 90,000 seat venue in London, every single ticket you sell under 90,000 can and will be used against you. That's how it works all over the world. Just like if you're born with beautiful black skin in America, you have to be twice as good as a white person born under those same circumstances, and every decimal below that will be used against you. Yes, this is a Black Wrestling YouTube channel. Hi, thanks for coming. Here, let me use an example that even colonizers can connect with. If you go to Applebee's, shouts to Applebee's, and you're ready to fuck up some Applebee's, man. So you get some boneless wings as an appetizer, then you get some neighborhood nachos with beef, right? Add some bourbon street steak and an order of shrimp and Parmesan sirloin. Throw a whiskey bacon burger on top of that. God, are you close? I know I am. Let's say that's your whole order at Applebee's, plus a triple chocolate meltdown for dessert. But you only end up eating 3 pieces of shrimp and half of the boneless wings. Motherfuckers are gonna judge you for not being able to finish that delicious but ambitious order at Applebee's. And that'll be your fault because you ordered the meal. Delicious but ambitious should be the name of this pay-per-view, not All In. Tony Khan doesn't have to steal Cody Rhodes' whole flow like Cody's Soulja Boy.
He copied my whole fucking flow!
Speaking of theft, how secure is your internet? Identity theft can cost you thousands of dollars, and data security is more important than ever. This isn't an Applebee's sponsorship, but it's even better. Say hi to our newest sponsor, Aura. Have you ever Googled yourself only to be shocked to find all the personal, detailed information that's about you? Man, I just Googled my cousin and I couldn't believe all the detailed information about him that popped up on all these people search websites. And guess what? He couldn't believe it either. Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them, but a lot of them make it really hard, and it's not as easy as just hitting the unsubscribe button. Let Aura handle that for you. It's really easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. I do it all: Forbes, Wrestling Inc., StreamYard, Pro Wrestling Bits, so I've got a lot of logins. And Aura's password management is the best password manager I've ever dealt with. So user-friendly. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. You could either let people continue to exploit you and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/PWB to start your free 2-week trial, also linked in my description. AEW didn't book a 90,000-seat stadium to meet it halfway. That's loser talk. Tony Khan is a billionaire, and just because the Jaguars have never ever been to a Super Bowl ever, and just because Fulham FC has never won a major trophy, and they spent much of their history in relegation, billionaires don't get into business to lose. They don't even get into business to be second place. Sugar Daddy Shad Khan and his billion-dollar Nepo baby are here to compete with WWE. As a national wrestling company, let alone one that has competed with WWE in the past and won, AEW and WWE will forever be connected, whether they like it or not. You don't order 10 strippers and say, all right, ladies, I'm only good for a couple of lap dances with one of you. Just like you don't book a 90,000-seat building only to shoot for 40,000. That's loser talk. It's a second place soliloquy. Half of AEW's roster are former WWE guys, not so they can be silver medal soldiers, but so AEW could be more like WWE to the naked eye. Now AEW's booking Wembley Stadium, just like WWE in '92. So it's only fair that when another billionaire books that same venue, they'll be judged against WWE's performance. Let me give you a number. 79,127. That's the number of tickets sold for SummerSlam '92. Every night from now until Cody Mania in August, Tony Khan will be going to sleep dreaming about selling 79,128 tickets. 50,000 would be nice. Hell, 40,000 would be nice. Even 30,000 could be spun into a solid success. But AEW is not trying to sell out 1/3 of a stadium. You don't go to Applebee's with a doggy bag in hand for all the food you're not gonna eat, just like you don't book Wembley Stadium to talk about all the tickets you're not gonna sell. That's a loser mentality. WWE was basically a monopoly before AEW got here. So the idea of AEW's very existence is crazy. And that happened. So who the hell is to say they can't sell out Wembley Stadium other than everybody in wrestling and their own self-defeated fan base? Excuses aside, Tony Khan will leave no stone unturned trying to come as close to that 90,000 as possible, no matter how toxic these stones are. Because this pay-per-view isn't half in, it's all in. The spirit of All In was Dave Meltzer saying he didn't think an independent wrestling company could fill up a 10,000-seat arena, only for Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks to stun on his ass by doing just that. AEW hears all the doubters who are now saying the same thing about Wembley Stadium, and in the spirit of All In, they'll be trying to prove them wrong too. Good luck. Take care of Cousin Phil for us. Check out this video of Vince McMahon's return and subscribe, because my New Year's resolution was to hit 10,000 subscribers, but I'd totally be happy with 5,000. Man, if you don't hit that motherfucking subscribe button, what's your prediction for All In ticket sales? Tell me in the comments.